What's going on, guys? I'm McDuggan here, finally here with my FUT FIFA Ultimate Team 22 video. I see a lot of people complaining online, right? And I just kind of want to take the time to kind of help people understand how the game is played this year compared to 21, right? A lot of people hated 21, myself included. Though I did have some enjoyable moments with 21, there were a lot of frustrating moments with it, especially with how they catered to certain play types. So far, 22 seems to be a lot better, and I think a lot of people were expecting 21 gameplay out the gate, but they're doing a lot of things differently this year, and I actually appreciate the change. You know, you can't complain that you want something different. Then when it's different, you complain that you want it to, the way it was. Just kind of doesn't work like that. However, I'm here with one of my main teams right here, Legalized Marinara. I am using a full Serie A squad here, okay? And the reason I'm doing that, I just kind of like making squads with teams. I'm not really a huge fan of the 6 different league squads. I feel like it takes way too much to make all these squads. And, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way the game is supposed to be played. But anyways, here I am with my full Serie A squad. A lot of people look at this and be like, why do you have Gosens at left mid? Why do you have Hateboer at right mid? And I just kind of want to explain, right, where the game is right now. Midfield needs to be controlled. The wings can be easily stopped, but the midfield is where the game runs rampant. And if you don't control the midfield, your team will just get obliterated, and then you will be one of those people online complaining that the game sucks. I promise you, ever since I took a step back and analyzed how the game plays and made changes, I've been enjoying it a lot better. Now, this isn't my in-game formation, and I will get over my in-game formation in a second. I just want to take a second to talk about why certain players play better at certain positions. Gosens, Hateboer, amazing central defensive mids, amazing. That's why I have the anchor chem style on them. They run boss with Kessier in the midfield. And we'll take a look at that too on their different traits depending on which chem style you use as well. And we'll take a look at their stats as well. But right here, you can see I'm running a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. So I have Dybala and Chiro up top. Mertens is my cam. They stay up forward. I have Gosens, Kessier, and Hateboer. My left and right central mids are playing central defensive mids in game. And that's what I was talking about. I have them covering the wings with Kessier covering the center. And I'm telling you, I boss the midfield. It's absolutely insane. So let's take a look at Gosens. Gosens is a pretty cheap card, right? 1,000 coins. If you look, 82 pace. He has a 77 defensive rating and an 81 physicality. Now, while those things aren't necessarily the greatest, they aren't necessarily the worst either, right? At this point in the game, this is what you kind of are going to see with a lot of different players. Now, with different chem styles, obviously those get boosted if you believe that chem styles work. There's people online that say that they don't. I don't necessarily know, but they look good to me when I use them, or when I use Footbin to filter it. So I think they work. I don't know, but anyways, with a basic chem style, he gets a +2 to his pace, a +4 to his defense, and a +2 to his physicality, which is pretty good. And I think that could be a viable if you want to use him as like a 4 central defensive mid, kind of box to box. I mean, he won't be the fastest and he'll really run out of juice fast, but with 81 passing and a 76 shooting, he's not bad. He scores for me. But now let's get into his stats with a shadow, right? So now you have that pace everybody loves at 92 pace rating and an 86 defensive rating. And while that is boss, I personally don't think super fast pace is that important yet. Now, some people may say it is. That's on them. I personally have found really good luck with just running with what I'm running with now, which is the anchor. And so I switched to that right now. He's running with an 87 pace, an 84 defense, and an 87 physicality. And I'm telling you, he bosses. Now, he does get pretty gassed by, I'll say, about the 65th, 70th minute. So I'm usually switching him out with Nicola Barella. And it's not a bad switch. but I do think that he is a very viable defensive mid right now in game. You know, if you're looking for a cheaper defensive mid, he's your guy. Hands down, he's your guy. Now, let's take a look at Hateboer. He's even cheaper, right? You have an 84 pace, 77 defense, 79 physicality. Just off the base stats alone, he looks pretty good, like a pretty good card, right? As a right mid, you know, he's playing defensively. He's not going to take it to the box and give you a good cross or shoot the ball in, but he's bossing my midfield, which is what I want him to do. Now, with a basic chem style, he's running with an 87 pace, an 80 defense, and an 81 physicality, with 82 dribbling, which isn't bad at all, and 77 passing, which is pretty good. But he could be better, and I'll show you why. Because here's him with Shadow. Now he has that 94 pace that everybody loves. Again, I don't think it's that important yet, but to each his own. It's my personal opinion. With 85 defense, which is really good, right? You might even throw him in your central defensive mid role, where you have him as like that far back defensive mid right before your center backs. But the reason I use him with anchor is because 89 pace, which is pretty good, 84 defense and 85 physicality. He's a tank in the midfield, and I run him on his respective side, the right side, like I run Gosens on the left. Like, I can't express this enough, and I wish I would have clips, and maybe one day I'll post some clips to my Instagram. It's great. It's a great how I'm in midfield, because they will really run at people over and just take the ball from them, and then now have a nice little counterattack going. And with Dybala and Chiro up top, those counterattacks can get really deadly really fast. Now, I just kind of want to take a second to talk about those that are struggling with the game. If you truly are struggling with the game, I hope that you are trying different things instead of trying the exact same thing over and over again, right? That's the definition of insanity. I want you to try different formations, try different leagues, try different teams. I'm usually EPL runner, right? Last year I ran the EPL team and I had that Cucurella card. I don't remember which event it was, but it was his left mid card, the upgrades. I think it was Future Stars, his Future Stars card. And that final one was absolutely busted, left mid. I had him running central defensive mid, like the very far back center defensive mid. And he was a boss. I mean, absolute boss. Look at these cards, look through their ratings. I highly recommend you go to FUT and find cards that work. In my EPL squad, I run Ziyech as a cam. He looks really good at cam. And I throw an engine on him and he does pretty well. And, you know, and this is in game, obviously. Some of these players play really well at other positions. And one of the things I will say is this year, you don't need 5, 6, 7, 8 attackers up front, right? You have your 4 back, you keep them all and stay back. I mean, unless you want to run like a 5-3-2, whatever, or 5. I don't even know what the formations are because I don't run the 5 defensive backs. But if you want to run that, sure. But I usually run 4 no matter what. I always keep them on stay back while attacking, or just stay back, whatever the instructions are. And then with your defensive mids, or excuse me, your midfielders, you actually use them to facilitate the field, right? Those are your technical players. And sure, while passing rating will probably be better for them than defensive, I personally think that you should improve on the stats that you're going to primarily use them for, right? I'm not going to get Dybala and put, I don't know, Gladiator on him. Like, that just doesn't make any sense, right? I want to improve on the stats that are going to make him a better player in the position and the role that I need him in. And so I think a lot of people should do that, right? If you have Lukaku, perfect example, you don't need a hawk on him. Dude's physicality is already busted. Sure, you can make him, 90 plus physicality. I don't know what hawk makes him, but it would make more sense to just throw a hunter on him, right? You get better pace on him. You get better scoring, which he already has good scoring. So you have even better scoring, and that's what you need him for, right? He's your target man. You're going to get him the ball up top, and he's going to score. I don't need him to be barreling through people. That's what I have my midfield for, right? That's what you have N'Golo Kante for. Or if you only pay the outrageous price for him, I recommend using Brentford's Onyeka. Dude is a monster, and he's super cheap. I don't know what his price is right now, but he is very affordable, right? He's what Sissoko was last year and the year before last, obviously, because Sissoko definitely does not play the same way he used to play. But I highly recommend you go to FUT, or even just, look at the cards in the web app in game and truly analyze the stats of these cards, because we could very well see Heung-min Son Cam player of the week, right? He got 2 assists. Did he play Cam? Probably not. I didn't watch the game because I was too busy watching Liverpool draw. But actually, I don't think those games come out at the same time. But anyways, I didn't watch the game. I always look up the stats later to see who can potentially get into team of the week. With 2 assists, very well makes sense to them to put this man as a Cam. And then next thing you know, now you can be a certified striker. You don't have to have that left mid roll tied up anymore. It's just one of those things that I could see EA probably doing. I'm not going to talk your ear off. If you guys want to send me your teams on my Instagram, I have it up here in this video, or, in the comments, I could talk and we can analyze this and go through. You don't need this amazing team yet. And granted, sure, my team is pretty well, like I packed Sun twice already. So definitely, sold them in early access for a lot of coins and built this team. And that was pure luck. But you don't need a high rated team, right? You need players that play well in their positions. And that's what people fail to do. You don't need Daka as your striker if his shooting is not going to be as great as someone like Gabriel Jesus. He may be faster, but again, the technical expertise of your midfield could very well open up your attack. A lot of times you'll lose to people who aren't sprinting down the field. Counterattacks are kind of not broken right now. They're pretty well maintained because the defense has definitely took it uptick. But again, like I said, I'm not gonna take your ear off. I can talk about this all day. I love this game. Not specifically FIFA 22, but I love FUT as a whole. However, thank you guys for watching the video. If you got this far, please leave a like, drop a subscription, or a sub. It sounded weird saying subscription. And I'll get you guys to the next video. Have a good one. Peace.